we will be solving the third bird problem of the 2011 AP Calculus exam.
So part A of this bird problem asks us to find a tangent line of the graph of f of x at g at 1/2. So first we find the derivative of the f of x graph, which gives us 24x squared. We then substitute in 1/2, and that gives us 6 for the antislope.
So for the second part of part A, first we take the slope that we found here, and then we need to substitute in to find the point where the graphs intersect. So since we already have the x-coordinate, we substitute in the x-coordinate for f and come up with 8 times 1/8, which is 1. So the point is 1/2 1. Then we substitute back into the equation to find out what the actual equation of the tangent is. So it's y minus 1 equals 6 times x minus 1/2. Then we distribute and get y equals 6x minus 2.
For part B, we will need to find the area of R. R is bound by the two curves, so we need to solve for the area between. To solve this, we will need to take the integral of the difference between the two curves. In this situation, it can be thought of an infinite number of rectangles connecting the two curves. Connecting these, we see that the height is the integral of the difference between the two curves, while the width is dx. Part B would need to be set up like this. Here's the integral, and then you will need to take the top function minus the bottom function times dx. To find the bounds of the integral, we need to find where the two graphs intersect. And here you can see that they intersect at 0 and at 1/2. By looking at the example then, we can substitute into these.
The next step in finding the area of R is to substitute the equation for the top graph minus the equation for the bottom graph into the integral. You then take the antiderivative of that, which comes out to be negative 1 over pi cosecant pi times x minus 2x to the 4th. Then we substitute 1/2 into the antiderivative to get negative 1/8. Next, substitute 0 into that same antiderivative. That leads to a value of negative 1 over pi. We then subtract negative 1 over pi from negative 1/8 to get an answer of 1 over pi minus 1/8.
Not saying that.
All right, for part C, we've had to write but do not evaluate an integral expression for the volume of a solid generated when R is rotated about the horizontal line y equals 1. So first, we make an identical copy of this graph on top over the y equals 1. So once we have that, find a rectangle and we rotate it around y equals 1. Then we use this equation. The reason why, because f of x is the outer radius, g of x the inner radius. So it's the outer, inner. So we substitute f of x here and g of x here. And then we have this final one. The 1/2, the intersection here, the 0, the intersection here.
Here are a list of algebra and calculus puns that did not make this Mathimals video.
Concave upworm, downworm, mathematics, calculator.
Denominator, theorem, examine the endpoints.
Mathajackal, calculator, asymptote.
Sheep tracked.